Hello, I'm here with Patrick Nally, who was our keynote speaker this morning. Patrick, I'd like to ask, you are the person who is credited with creating the model for sports sponsorship and branding. And just in the conversations I've been overhearing and talking to people about over lunchtime, it seems that you think that a lot of the same models are being followed and that more should be done. Different things should be done to leverage sponsorships. How would you do it differently now? You've been here, in the business for 30 years. You think things should be done differently. How should they be done differently?
Well, I think the problem is because we created something many years ago as a package and that people have continued with this sort of package concept, the sort of creative thinking hasn't been there. And that currently I think all the future businesses need to be looked at in a very bespoke manner. I think the federations have got to understand their brands. They've got to understand what are their attributes, what are their offerings, how can they approach young people. Is it to do with fitness, health? Is it to do with heritage? There are so many things that make a brand and create a brand, but I think many of the federations just haven't actually looked at themselves and actually defined who they are as a brand themselves and what are the right relationships. They've just gone out to try and sell a few rights and still go out to try and sell a few rights without really taking into consideration who and what they are. And with all the change now of the media, with social media, young people, youth tools who don't watch television and things, they've got to be responsive, because if they're not, they're just not going to be able to keep up generating that sort of revenue.
I have a teenage son and two young daughters who aren't particularly interested in things like, I suppose, the athletics world championships or the Olympics. It's not really on their radar the way it was when I was a child. How can you reach these children? What can brands be doing to reach children?
Which is quite right, because young people don't watch television. The audience of athletics and Olympics is getting older and older and older, and just creating a youth Olympics doesn't mean anything. One's got to look at youth tools, one's got to look at Facebook, one's got to look at Zinger and Playdom and the people that are accessing young people, and one's got to look at how their own product, how their own brand can actually capture that space. Now, I can't give you an instant answer other than they're not doing it. They're not looking at how to get to young people in a young person's language, and if they don't, they won't survive. There will be new activities, new sports. There will be the Red Bulls of creating their own properties is the way that it will go, and the old traditional federations will just slowly disappear.